Hello and welcome to Indiana Baseball Weekly, presented by Big Ten Plus. I'm Gabe Fenster alongside Mason Williams. And Mason, the Hoosiers have been on an absolute tear, riding an 8-game win streak, taking the past 12 out of 13 games, and sweeping their in-conference rival Ohio State this past weekend.
Yeah, you mentioned it. The Big Ten schedule got off to a flying start this week, and not many better ways, that you'd want to start it off than by sweeping a very solid Ohio State team like Indiana did. Some guys that really just kind of allowed Indiana to experience the success that they did this weekend. Luke Sennard has just continued to be such a calming presence at the top of this Indiana rotation. Every time he goes out there, Indiana's won so far. They're 6 of 6 in his outings. And then some guys in the order, just top to bottom, they've really just produced for Indiana in times when they've needed it most, whether it's a guy like Devin Taylor, who's Big Ten Freshman of the Week for the second week running, or Brock Tibbetts, who's Big Ten Player of the Week for the first time since 2021, Josh Pine, Philip Glasser, who I know you're going to talk about. Yeah. Some of these guys have just been so key for Indiana in their success so far.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk about Philip Glasser. Thank you for mentioning him. But the senior from Talmadge, Ohio, has been tearing it up in the batter's box this season. He's coming off a rare 3-hit series against Ohio State, but I expect him to bounce back this upcoming weekend as the Hoosiers travel to Penn State, which I will get into in just a second. But Glasser overall this season, he's hitting the ball at a .432 clip, racking up a 1.49 OPS, and not to mention leading the team in hits with 41. That's unbelievable, but I expect this upcoming series against Penn State to be a fun one. You got the Nittany Lions. They're 0-3 in the conference, taking on IU, who's riding an 8-game win streak, 3-0 in the conference. But there's one key player I have in mind coming into this series. That player is Thomas Bramley. He's coming off a 5-hit series against Michigan and a .315 batting average on the season. So I really expect Jeff Mercer and the Hoosiers to definitely keep an eye out on him.
Well, Indiana's obviously going to want to not look past this Penn State team, but Penn State, with all due respect to them and in comparison to Ohio State, Penn State is a little bit lesser of a team. There's a challenge here when Indiana has to go to Happy Valley. They have to play on the road. They've not done so quite to the level that they've done it in home this season. I mean, Indiana's 14-0 at home this year, but right. Indiana's going to want to go in. They're going to want to stay hungry in this set. And I think Indiana's going to expect a sweep. They're the better team in this series, and I would expect them to come out and try and enforce that.
Yeah, and I do think Indiana has the upper hand. They're coming in with an 8-game win streak. But that'll do it from here. You can stay up to date with the latest and everything Hoosier baseball by following Indiana on BTN Twitter. Until next time, I'm Gabe Fenster. He's Mason Williams. We'll see you later.